If you're the type of player who likes to PvP against other players in Call of Dragons, the merit store is going to be one of your best friends, as it has some of the highest value rewards in the game currently. So first of all, here is the store. You can see merit here is what you use to pay the currency here. You gain merit from fighting other players and killing troops. And there is a special rule here. There is no limit to the amount of merit that can be gained, but at 00 UTC, meaning like at reset time, every Monday, up to 20,000 merit can be kept till the next week. Meaning that you have, for example, 20,000 merit, I have 12,000, no issues whatsoever. If by Monday reset, I have 30,000, I will lose 10,000. It will bring me back to 20,000. So you cannot ever have more than 20,000 to a reset. So that happens on Monday at 00 UTC, meaning that at Sunday, you should be spending all of your merit in the store, or obviously beforehand. Now the merit store has two sections, daily supply. Every day at reset, it will reset all the rewards here, and you will get new rewards for basically lower amount of merits, as well as some of them you see have 40% and other deals like this. Now the weekly supply, this one resets once a week, exactly at the time that the merit resets. So you see the timer here in 5 days. This is how long I have to spend my merit before getting reset to 20,000. Now here is where the good stuff is most of the time. We're going to talk about the unit medical supply. Now this is the 50,000 one, there's a 20,000 one. Now this is basically the biggest aspect of this game for PvP, meaning that you instantly heal severely wounded unit in your hospital. This is not going to work in the next season, so you have to use it in the season that you buy it for. But as some of you will know from watching my PvP video, you have a certain capacity of healing in your hospital. So for example, my hospital heals about 150 to 200,000 units per day. It takes 24 hours to heal 200,000 units, which is a little bit less than the total amount of units that I have. So if I do PvP and I lose all my units, I can't do anything for 24 hours unless I spend to heal units. Now this is where this comes in. You will instantly go in your hospital and clear a huge chunk of units from your hospital without having to do anything else. You'll come in the store, you'll buy this item, instantly you're going to go to your hospital and boom, it's going to clear out units. Now, one small tip about this is that you will have T1, T2, all these kind of units in your hospital. You don't want to waste this on low grade units because you can just go in your hospital, for example. So you see here in my hospital, I have 180,000 total healing, and in 24 hours is how much it will take. Now, a resource healing, I can do 52,000. So if you were to have a lot of tier 1 units, for example, I would recommend you heal these with this healing. You pay to heal. They're very, very cheap to heal, whether it's gatherers or low-level units that you have in your march in the early game. Because if you're going to use those tokens, you will want them to be used on tier 4 to save you the time and trouble, as well as just basically having these troops to fight right away when you need them. Now, for those of you who wonder where the merit store is, you have to go into your alliance frame, click the store here, and this is the store for the alliance, the regular stuff, and here it is. This is the merit store. It's a little bit awkward to find, but once you know it, you know it. Now, of course, here there's other rewards, resources, all that kind of stuff. I would say I would never spend any merit on anything other than these guys. This is going to be the main focus of this merit store. There is other rewards here though that are very, very good and can be quite worth it. I will try and reset it just to show you guys. Here it is, perfect. I got exactly what I needed. So other stuff that can be in this store, prestige. Now this is the currency that you use to upgrade your policies. This is a pretty low value thing, especially the later on the season goes. In the early season, this can be useful because the prestige does allow some policies, and policies are very powerful, especially if you switch faction and when you've lost half of your prestige points, basically, by doing the resurgence. But it is, an option, and it is pretty cheap. So it is nothing that I would say you shouldn't spend on at all, but I would obviously say that this is more worth it. In my opinion, you will never use the merit store to buy anything else but CP recovery and medical supply. CP recovery is probably one of the highest value item in this store by quite a lot. This, for example, is 1,000 CP. 1,000 CP is over 25 Darkling Legions out in the world that will give you a ton of experience. Right now, it's almost 10,000 experience per unit that you kill Darkling Legions with. So just to show you how much worth that is, for example, one level 19 Archer Darkling Patrol is 10,100 XP. And the attack on this would be, 50 CP, and then if I stay in the field long enough, it will turn into 40 CP. And you also will have access to killing these big guys, which is a bit of XP, but also a lot of arcane dust. So as you can tell, the value of a standard recovery item here is just really good. There can be the other one, the one that gives 100, as well as it's going to be cheaper. But this is just insanely valuable. You must buy this in the merit store when you see it, and if you can, of course, as well as this. Try to time yourself, by the end of the week, if you have 30, 40, 50,000, try and, empty the store. Using the reset here is not a terrible idea. I just did it here, but I can only do it once a day for 100 gem. So it will depend on the kind of player you are. But I would save up my merit until I see these kind of rewards in the store. And when you see them, just buy them. And then, of course, on Sunday, make sure to check before the week goes over so you don't lose your extra over 20,000, because it is obviously, very valuable to gain merit, and it is going to be something that's not something you can do every day because you need to kill other players in order to gain merit, and there's not always tons of other players to kill. Now, talking about how to earn merit, it is very straightforward. It is from fighting. I saved a few reports here to show you exactly how it works. So in the reports, it will tell you the total merit. So it will be more in detail when you look at the report. So the way it seems to work mathematically is basically for every T4, you gain like a quarter of a point. Meaning 6,000 kills gave me 1,400-ish merit. So for about every 4 T4 that I killed, I got a point. The math is a little bit off because I've calculated with some of the other reports here. As you can see, I have a lot of fighting and I've killed, 200 units here, I got 12, so it's more like 1 for 20 here, but because they are basically tier 1, 2, and 3. So it varies. Of course, the more units you kill, the more merit you do. It is really that simple. There isn't really anything you should be looking out. The higher tier 4, 5s will give a ton of merits, while the lower tier 1 and 2 will give almost no merit whatsoever. So the last thing to mention is when you can actually use merit and have them. You can see basically from the beginning of the season, it's quite early on, called Warsong. This is the merit store as well as being able to earn merit. It happened like less than 2 weeks into this server, so it's going to be the first 2 weeks is when it kind of unlocks, and then it's on for the rest of the season, which is supposed to last almost 2 months basically. So it is going to be something that you do for a while, and it does make it worth it to try and fight as much as you can, because as we said, the rewards in this store are just too good, especially when you get lucky and you get these kind of things. So check the store every day. This resets every day, and then this resets every week, and you have 1 free reset here per week and 1 free reset here per day. So when you see these kind of rewards, my goal right now would be to go and fight to earn enough merit to buy as many of these as possible to stack up for the future fights. Hope this video was useful to you guys. If you have any questions about merit or anything about the game, make sure to drop it in the comments below. As always, I do my best to answer every question asked to me. As well as make sure to check out my other Call of Dragons guides. I have guides on all types of subjects for new players and for free to play as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.